Well, hey everybody, round 4 of the Stannarts Jaws Bruce Mechanical Shark Model acquisition and building and painting and finalizing. This is my GRAIL, and thanks to Stannarts I was able to get it. So let's take a look at the finished piece. This is the front view of my Bruce, and I am quite happy with it. He was a lot of work. You know, you're talking about a lifetime of studying Bruce the Shark to get the colors the way I wanted them. And look, Bruce is kind of like a Rorschach test. There were several different color schemes on Bruce throughout the movie Jaws. He was lighter gray on top in earlier parts of the movie, and towards the end of the movie he got a darker gray color. I don't know why he got darker. So I based mine on what I remember the most. Like when we all go to the theater, we see the movie, the last thing you remember is the attack on the cage and jumping on the boat, eating Quint, attacking Brody, all that stuff. And you remember the way he looked then. Now, I didn't gore him up as much. He's got a little shades of red around his mouth, mostly because I just like that look. I like the fact that it makes the teeth stand out. And he's not absolutely clean, like he hasn't attacked anybody. This is, after all, Jaws. But I like the darker top and the lighter bottom. It's just, you know, that's just the way I prefer it. I've also put some detail in his eye there. You know, his eye's looking forward or down at Quint if he was in its mouth. I used a technique that I understand Ward Welton, the painter of the actual shark, used. And we're going to talk about the Chew Crew here in a minute. This is the actual scheme and the way he did it. I think he mixed colors. It was all done by brush. I don't think he did airbrushing, or if he did it with a very fine point. But he had a series of dots that go into the light and into the dark of both areas, and it helped blend on a scale and gave the shark that dermal denticle, you know, the toothy skin tooth look. They actually used a sandpaper. Yeah, I'm showing you the scale now. He's about 20 inches long. Let's get a look at the whole guy here. Yeah, that's the full meal deal. I've had the video with the interior. I'm not really talking about that much. The only added thing is, of course, the crane arm wheel and the latch that went into the body attached to the main frame. And then, of course, some of the wires that I added. You know, some came with it. This bank came with it. This heavy gauge hose came with it. And I added a few others to match photos and things I've seen. I mean, it was a busy operation there. There's a lot of stuff going on in the hydraulics. But the color scheme and everything I did based best on, you know, I could from seeing the shark in photographs. I don't know that it was as green as it may appear in this video. I think it was a little more olive and a little more subtle. It's really green on this video, so forgive that. It's actually to the eye a little more subtle. The skin color is also a little darker in person somehow. Let's look at the finished side. This actually was a lot more work than the other side was because I had a little more skin to do. Trying to get his scars and all movie accurate, all those little scratches, bumps, all that stuff. You know, I've looked at that. I've made little sharks for years. I've done all that for years. And one of the things that attracted me about Bruce when I saw the movie the first time is he wasn't clean. He was dirty and marred and scarred, and, you know, the top of his head when he was trying to get when he was trying to get Brody, you know, is scarred, and all that's present. That David Stann sculpted all that stuff into the model. It's phenomenal. Now, if you want to know where David Stann left off and I picked up, the only thing I really did was I've always liked Bruce with a little bit more of a straighter line. You know, I like the lines to be smoother. And when you have the open mouth, this comes down at quite an angle, and it kind of breaks that up. So I wanted him a little more closed mouth. And so I did. I took liberties with the model. I moved this jaw piece up just a smidgen more where they would mesh more to the eye, and I had to, I had to fill all this in the middle. But when I puttied, the other thing I did was, you see all these bumps and ridges, I added those. Those were not on the model, because David Stann sculpt is open mouth. And open mouth Bruce is pretty smooth on the side and on the bottom, because these bumps are plastic that, they smooth out as the mouth opens. But as his mouth closed, he got rather lumpy. And all those lumps, now he already had sculpted these in. But since he had an open mouth, these weird contorted lumps weren't in there really. So I put them back. Again, as I was saying about the color scheme, you can see maybe in the close-ups, I'm not sure how focused it is. I'm sorry about that. You can see what I call like the dot pattern. That's the merge between the dark gray and the white. And again, it gives him a very shark-like texture. The famous dorsal fin shape, perfectly captured. The pectoral fin supplied by David Stann. The base, which I went with just a bronze color, and then I went with the blue water. I tried to do a nice water effect there. Just a lot of layers of gloss and all that. Of course, 2 rods to actually hold the model up. That's David's fin there with the one side clasper, and then of course the big sweeping tail. Now I had to match that other one, so I actually sculpted this clasper and this fin and mounted that on and did the best I could to line them up. That was not easy, and part of what took time. I added a few scars, a few irregularities in it. The other thing that was kind of hard to do was to make another pectoral fin. Mine is actually a little narrower so that it was clear of all this, but you can't tell when you're looking at them. They look about the same, And I just made it out of epoxy putty. So that was, you can see that water effect. His surface is just beautiful. I love that water surface in there. And I had to also, let me tell you, this is not easy to mount the shark. You have to finish the shark. Then another whole process is mounting this piece and this piece to the base. And it's all this alignment and getting it in there, and it's not, I won't lie to you, it's not easy. I would say this is not a model for the uninitiated. I mean, if you've built some models and you want to get this guy, just be prepared to do some work. You're gonna have to do a little bit more than just building a little vehicle or a little thing that you're just happy with and you sit on the shelf. This is more in the range of what professional modelers have to do, especially car modelers. And I'm not a car modeler. My buddies in my model group, the Soak River modelers, know we have different interests, and there are some major vehicle guys in there, and they do, imagine all the engine wiring and things they do. So this is their revenge on me, because I don't do this kind of stuff. But at least I got to do some, add pipes, wires, hoses, all that. So anyway, guys, that's that part. I gotta plug my model club. But the main bit is the business end. There you go. That's the part that everybody looks at. You want to see Bruce in his glory. You want to see the teeth, those awesome teeth. David Stann did a astoundingly nice job sculpting the teeth of the shark and the jaws and the way they fit in the mouth and everything. All that is amazing. The lighting doesn't let me show you the interior, but we may have seen that already, so let's just move on. And by the way, he got one little thing right. I don't know if it's an accident or not, but I think if he was intentional, he got it right. This eye is higher on the side of the body than this eye. That's a Bruce fact. And he got it. He got it. Now, you've got to really pay attention to notice it. In the movie, I mean, come on. That's not something you pick up. But it's a subtle little thing about Bruce that's there. Anyway, all right, my GRAIL number 1, finally acquired in my lifetime. A nice Bruce reproduction that looks like Bruce, that I could get in there and put my 2 cents on and paint No slam at the other people that do it. I'm grateful for you being out there. I know the people that get your sharks are grateful that you're out there. The fellow in England, and I can't remember your name, and I'm so sorry, but you do fantastic work. You know, all you guys that make Bruce's for the world are wonderful people. Mine just came from David Stann. That's where I got mine. And if any of you collectors, you may be such that you have one of those other sharks and still want this one because of the unique mechanical interior. And if you don't want to build and paint it, I'll give you a heads up. I think David's got plans to produce painted ones that are finished. Now, they will probably be of a price range akin to what you guys that have been buying, you know, from other vendors would pay. It's going to be probably, I don't know. I don't want to guess for David what his prices are. Let's just not do that. But they'll be painted and they'll be finished, and it'll be just like getting a statue from somewhere else. So look for that. Just keep an eye on Stannarts. He'll keep you informed. And but right now this is a kit. It's fairly affordable. It's in a reasonable range compared to some of the sharks that are out there. And for me, it was a godsend because I finally got the one I wanted. Here he is. He's done. He's complete. He's in my collection. And I'll never let him go. I'm not selling this under any conceivable circumstances. And I can only say thank you. I want to put my shouts out again to the old shoe crew from Jaws. The fellas that made the real thing, that made the real ones back in '74 for the filming of the movie. And I want to thank all the people that have had anything to do with why this shark exists. It's going to be my favorite movie shark, even over the realistic looking stuff like you see in The Shallows and movies like that, the computer generated sharks. They're cool, but I'm sorry, Bruce was in the shot with the guys. He was there. He's a real deal, so love him. He'll always be my favorite movie element, prop, item. And I've got him now. And I'm extremely happy. I hope you've enjoyed these videos. I know the build-up's been a little bit long. But thank you so much for waiting me out to see my finished product. It has been a labor of love and a great joy to me to have this. So, you know the drill. Please like if you like it at all. And if you like it, if you like my paint job and my build, like it. If you don't, I mean, you know, I understand. Don't not like it because you're a fan of one of the other shark makers. We're all family. All Jaws fans are family. You know, we all support each other. 50th anniversary of Jaws is coming up. We'll leave you with that thought. That is why the name is in gold on my base. It's the 50th anniversary. And I can't wait to celebrate next year, and I'll have this shark in hand. Got to go watch the movie now. I haven't watched it since I started this. Like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate all of you that have been a part of my channel and the kind words said to me for the first Bruce video I put up about my content. Thank you so much. I try. I'm not a great content maker. I'm just me. Maybe the stuff I have is cool. You know, and we're all lucky enough to get some of it. So, appreciate y'all so much. You have no idea. Take care. Have a great day. And get your GRAIL. Don't say no. Never stop. Go after it. You will get it. And it is an awesome feeling. Take care.